I guess go through the checklist first.
Okay. So what do you do?
This is the list of what you need to do before you fly.
And you just go through all of that?
Yeah, this is a pre-flight, and you do that outside the plane.
That's what we just were looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the plane, you'd adjust your seats and seatbelts, and you'd go to the fullest tank.
You've got multiple gas tanks?
Yeah, there's a tank in each wing.
Okay.
I use this to switch tanks. There's on, or left on, right on, and both off.
Mm-hmm. So we're on the right tank right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you know which is the fullest?
There's a fuel gauge.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, so you have to switch the ignition on first, obviously.
You can turn on the battery to see it.
Uh-huh. So they're about the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
After you go to the fullest tank, you'd open the cowl flaps, which lets more air go into the engine. When you're flying, air blows through these vents. There's vents on the wings.
So you sit there at the edge of the runway and do all of this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff to check, isn't there? There's got to be 50 items on there.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else you think that, that's especially kind of interesting about the things that you check off?
You test the flight controls.
Okay.
You just make sure everything moves around right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I could hear it in the back when you did that. When you pushed it, you could hear the tail.
Yeah, and there's cables going from here to all the moving parts of the plane, so you make sure that nothing's broken.
So, can I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gives you a feeling of control when you see it happening like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I use the pedals for the rudder.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like now. Oh, yeah. Do that again, please. Uh-huh, there they go.
And the pedals also control the brakes. So you do a brake check.
So what's the main thing that you really need to know instrument-wise when you're flying a plane? What's your main gauge?
You use the airspeed indicator.
Can you point to it?
This.
Uh-huh.
It shows knots on the inside, miles per hour.
Okay.
The white arc is the range where you can use the flaps. Like this is the maximum flap speed at the top of the white.
100?
110 miles per hour.
Uh-huh.
And the bottom of the white is the minimum stall speed with full flaps. The green arc is what you'd fly just in regular configuration without flaps. And the yellow arc you can fly if it's not bumpy, but if there's a lot of turbulence, you can't fly into the yellow arc.
Okay.
Because it can damage the plane.
Okay.
And you can never go past the red line.
Okay. So that's the most important, is the airspeed, in your opinion.
It's one of the most important, and the altitude's another one of the most important.
Okay.
There's vents on the side of the plane where air can get in, and it measures the air pressure. So as you go up, the air pressure is lower, and it compares it to what the air pressure is at the ground, which you adjust with this knob.
So you do that before you take off? You adjust the...
Yeah.
Because the pressure changes from day to day.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's probably, if we looked at this list, that's probably one of the things on that list, is to adjust the altitude meter.
Before you fly, here you listen to the weather information and they tell you what the pressure is. And if there's not weather information, then at other airports, you just set the altitude to however high the runway
we are
is.
above the sea level?
Yeah, and here it's around...
And that's usually close enough, but it's better if you can adjust it exactly.
Yeah. And here at Meacham, it's about 710 feet. So today the pressure is about 30.04 inches of mercury. And for every inch of mercury it goes up, that's 1,000 feet of altitude.
Okay. Just kind of run through quickly some of the other ones.
If you can't see the outside of the plane, you need this to be able to tell which way you're heading. When the plane's on.
Oh, if the visibility is real low, you're saying?
Yeah.
So is this for instrument rated flying?
Well, it's more important, but for instrument. But you use it too when you're not flying instrument.
Okay.
It shows how much the plane is turned sideways and how much or what angle it's pointed. It uses a vacuum to power it. And this is the vacuum gauge. It usually has about 5 inches of mercury of suction.
Okay. How about the radios? Can you talk a little bit about them?
Yeah. This is a radio and a GPS. This
Okay.
is a radio, and this is just a GPS.
Okay. You have 2 radios?
Yeah, we use I normally use the radio and the GPS.
That one single one is your preference?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I use this for VORs, which is for navigation. And you set this to the frequency where it sends signals, and then
Yeah, and
it
you and you
uses-
aim toward that. I've seen how
yeah.
that process works. And then you were going to tell us about these?
Yeah.
What are those? A red and a blue, and red and a black and a white?
Yeah.
Or is it just the red and the black you're concerned about?
I use all 3 of them.
Okay, and what are they?
This is the throttle, and I mostly adjust the manifold pressure.
Mm-hmm.
This is this controls the RPMs, and when you adjust it, it also adjusts the pitch of the propeller.
Okay.
And this is the fuel mixture, and you adjust it for how much fuel you want to be
Lean
going
or
into.
rich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other major item that we haven't talked about?
Yeah. This is the directional gyro. It uses a gyroscope. It's like a compass, and when the plane turns, it turns around the gyroscope.
You've spent about 50 hours in the plane, you said?
Yeah.
And what you have yet to do is what?
Do a check ride where I do some maneuvers, and I need to do landings, like a short field landing and a soft field landing,
Okay.
and maybe some more stuff like navigating.
Okay. And you do all that in one flight?
Yeah.
And then what happens once you pass your check ride? Do you get a license?
Yeah.
Is it a license like a driver's license?
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting kind of hot. Are you?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Good tour.